Man, I look like a giant brownie. How's it going, Bloodswinger? Back again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the DC Universe Classics 2-pack, Fists of Fury or something like that it was called. I don't really remember, and I cannot recall what it was called, but this is Mr. Shitstorm, Clayface. So yeah, this is Clayface. He looks very cool, probably in the top 5 overall actual action figures that I own, and an absolutely crazy awesome figure. First complaint is he does look like a huge giant piece of turd, and actually the first time I picked him up, I remember my mom saw me picking him up and she's like, why do you want to buy a guy that looks like shit? And I was like, it's not shit, it's mud. And I've had to prove that point to several other people, but I definitely agree that he does resemble some type of, especially this little lump right here hanging down. I mean, that does look like sometimes what might well, yeah, this is going too far. Let's just focus on the figure, and I'll make another video on the way my poop looks and all that. And yeah, this is getting really weird. Alrighty, so let's take a look. First off, look at that mean head sculpt. I mean, that is awesome. He has a very hollow kind of design on the inside there, and the random kind of teeth that look more like maybe corn. I mean, God, I gotta stick away from that whole shit joke. That look like teeth. They look like teeth. I mean, he's a mod monster that needs teeth. Makes sense. But yeah, he has, I'm guessing, teeth. And then those, what I really love is, without joking aside, is actually those eyes, because I love the way that they're really kind of inside there, which gives a lot of kind of volume to the head sculpt and allows you to understand it really is mud, and it's like a material. Even though it's solid plastic, it feels like it's a squishy material, and that the eyes are just kind of rolling there, like they're just kind of enclosed within this shape, so to speak. And I also love the way that they're kind of, there's a little like stroke on the outside of the eyes with the black, which makes them pop out and stand out a lot more. So other than the head sculpt, you can see the amazing sculpting on the actual piece. So from that little joke that I did on the poop hanging down there, but that's it's really cool where it's kind of double layered, where this piece is layered on top, where it's soft plastic, this piece on top of the hard plastic, so it makes it look very cool. And then if we keep working our way down, you can see the sculpting carry down with the layered kind of shape, and gooey and kind of rolling down his whole body. I mean, there's one of two things: he's either really fat or he's made out of mud, because that would be a lot of layers of fat. So yeah, that's all his stuff. Now, I didn't cover his arms for one simple reason, and that's because the arms are done very, very neatly and very cool. As you can see, you could probably already tell that this is not plastic. It's actually a really kind of like a soft rubber material that you can mess around with, and like, I mean, look, I can pull his fingers like, ooh, wow, I thought I almost ripped off his finger. That would suck, huh? During a review, I just pulled and ripped off. That would suck a lot. But yeah, it's very cool, and what I'm amazed is the fact that they were actually able to detail this material, because I think that would probably be very difficult because of the fact that it's a very soft material. I would think that it would be quite difficult to detail it, but they somehow, the guys at Mattel, managed to do it. So you know how, I mean, I give Mattel a lot of, well, not a lot, but some criticism against their WWE line, but their DC Universe line, I mean, wow, so well done. So you can see right there, as I'm mentioning, it's incredible that they were able to do this. Now, seeing this, I thought to myself, man, this is awesome, but am I losing articulation on this? Now, as you could probably tell by his other arm, the answer is no, because somehow they managed to actually kind of, from what I understand, there's an actual ball joint here that does allow you to kind of have the arm going up and down, or some sort of joint that keeps this in place at least. and then it's like, do you know those like little metal wires that you can bend around? So that's pretty much what is on the inside, so you can really just kind of bend his arm whatever way it is you want. So you just bend it into place and it just stays there, which I found to be a genius idea and just very, very creative and very cool, because I mean they really didn't have to go ahead and do this. They could have done it with just the way that they did the legs, and I would have found it to be really cool. But they went ahead the extra mile and did the arms and all, which I found to be really cool and really neat and really characterful of this guy, which is why, I mean, I'm saying he is my considering I said this about Kilowog is my favorite collect and connect DC universe, and I mean it's a tie probably for first place between Kilowog and him for first place overall DC universe figure I own, because I mean he's really, really well done and I really like him. Now as far as the other articulation, except for the arms, as I explained to you how his arms work, his head rotates, but it's very limited because of the way that it's sculpted, where it's just kind of like a plopped ball inside this mesh, and this little thing that I was talking about that covers over limits his articulation. But I mean you really don't need much articulation on the head sculpt anyway, on the head part. Then his ab joint is actually very strong and goes quite far back and forward and back. He has a swivel at the wrist. Wow, a swivel at the waist. Has a ball jointed leg. He has a single jointed, and well, it's like a ball jointed knee, I guess you call it. But then again, it's very limited because of the sculpting here, and he has a ball jointed ankle. So that's cool. I like the articulation of this guy. Now some people might say that the articulation might be because it's limited, there's very little of it, and that's kind of taken away from the figure. In my opinion, a figure like this really doesn't need as much articulation because it's Clayface and because of his character. It makes sense, at least to me, that he's not very articulated, because he's more of kind of like he just kind of like shapes himself into a shape and then kind of fights and then breaks down again and then puts another shape in. So for me it makes sense the way that he's built, and I mean I would definitely not want to trade any of this detail in order to get that little extra articulation, because I mean I really am not going to be displaying like Clayface doing like some sort of 360 upside down super spine flying monkey kick thingy. So he's just gonna stand there and just look really cool and really intimidating, and he's very, very good at that. So I definitely recommend Clayface. If you can find him, pick him up. He's a great figure. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. Again, he's another one of those guys that gets the Blitzwinger seal of approval, if that means anything to anybody, but to me it does. So hey, yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. Remember, comment, subscribe, and what's the other thing? Thumbs up. And then the question for this video is, did in the Batman animated series, now I'm not sure, maybe if some of the younger people don't really know what it is, but hey, I'm just gonna go with this. In the Batman animated series, who was your favorite Batman villain? So comment below, and I'd love to hear your opinions. So Blitzwinger out, and I hope you enjoyed this review.